Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man.
What's up, gamer friends? This is Anger Banter here, and today we are currently going to be jumping right back in to where we left off with Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4. As I said, we're playing this in anticipation of the upcoming release of the Avengers title, in which Spider-Man will be on the PS4 version, but not any other version, which is creating controversy, of course. But we're also doing this in honor of the upcoming release of Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's going to be on the PlayStation 5. It's going to be a launch window title. It's pretty exciting.
Blocks away.
So we just arrested Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, last time here, and now we're currently just working on going to our job as our boss is pissed off at us, which is nothing new for Peter Parker, to say the least. So the cool thing here is we are literally able to swing through. As you can see, there's, I believe it's Madison Square Garden, or what's, you know, the Marvel version of it, and we're just zipping through the city. And it's really cool is that, like, even as you zip through, you get the blur effect that you would get if you were actually Spider-Man zipping through the whole city. And it's a really addicting gameplay feature, in my opinion, to be able to just zip through. As we're almost there. Hold on. There we go. Jumping around. And like I said, it's a really addictive feature. You can find yourself zipping around the entire city when you're first playing through the game the first time, trying to find all the collectibles. There's all these neat little things. We might be trying to get some of them in a little bit. Who knows? Having gotten all of them before, I don't know if there's really any benefit to me getting them again. And we're currently right around where work is. There we go.
Sorry, I'm late.
We're going to go in the door. We're going to do a cut here.
Started without me.
The grant committee's director will be here soon.
As you see, the project they're working on looks like it's some kind of like prosthetic of some kind, which is a really cool thing. Spider-Man's a big tech guy to an extent. If you read the comics, you'll be familiar with the fact that they do a lot of stuff with technology at times. Even if the suit is made out of like spandex, there's a lot of tech stuff that they put in the game.
Man.
Of course, if you're familiar with, in case you can't tell, yes, that is Dr. Octavius, and yes, that is eventually Dr. Octopus, eventually, keyword eventually, at some point, either in this game or another game. And that looks like a little Easter egg there to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 with how Alfred Molina became Dr. Octopus. And I noticed a thing, just a little thing, with most of Spider-Man's major enemies. They're accidentally created by Peter Parker in some way, which I always thought was a really cool feature. And a lot of people will say Batman has the best rogues gallery, but I could argue that Spider-Man might have the best rogues gallery, because outside of the big few in Batman, Spider-Man's got a lot of solid villains.
Smell very positive.
I assure you, in the next phase.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
And right now it looks like the city's about to take away their grant that they're being given to design this technology.
Maybe you should take the rest of the day off, Peter. But we'll talk later.
Just a little honest mistake blows up, and you can see Dr. Octavius. Maybe he has anger issues. Maybe he just wants to get this project done. Who knows? So now we're going to take control of Peter here, and the cool thing about this game is there are little bits where you do play as Peter and you do play as Spider-Man. It kind of mix up the gameplay from the punching, kicking, and web swinging. So the one thing we're going to do here is we're going to try to fix this thing. So it gives us this little mini game here. Let's load it on this tablet here.
Circuit burned out.
I like the Mass Effect like music in the background if you can hear it. So the thing is, there's 3 different circuits that burned out on this thing, and we kind of have to do reroute the circuitry, the energy to that orange one in the bottom corner. So this should look semi-familiar because this kind of minigame is sort of what we saw in BioShock. If you played BioShock before, it's like I said, it's very similar to the hacking. I think it's the hacking, but yeah, it's very similar to that. So we got to rotate and place things. These ones that are already placed, we cannot remove. So we'll just put new ones in, and we'll rotate it here. And there we go. and they gave us a certain amount. And look, now this is a pretty easy puzzle right now to solve because they give you just enough to do it. It's not that hard to mess it up. Now, of course, there are some that are you have to do for the story purposes, like this one here, but the rest are purely optional. But you do get in-game rewards for completing them, and I believe there might be trophies associated with doing this. So it's not like it's that hard to do them all. But like I said, if you want to play the game and get the platinum trophy, by all means, try to do everything in this game. Because when I first played this the first time, it looks like we got the wrong one. Certain pieces, the current can only go through in certain directions. But like I was saying, when I first played this, I got this at launch, and I immediately played it, and I think I beat it in like a week or two. It's not the longest open world game, but I think I did like 40, 50 hours into it, kind of like with Ghost of Tsushima, where the game is so good that you will do everything in it. And now we're going to get the third part. This one's a little bit different. As you can see, we have to balance the voltage. So the target voltage is 3, and we have 2 positive voltages and 1 negative voltage. So we have to make all 3 of those equal positive 3. So you got to do a little bit of math here. See, we're wrong. We're down by 1. So we probably want to put a higher voltage in the second one. We can't really do anything about the negative one. So we're just going to route the circuitry, and we'll get out of here. And like I said, these are pretty easy at the beginning. They get a little more challenging at near the end as you get further in the game. So if you find yourself getting stuck, don't worry. It happens. So now we're going to make sure that it worked, and obviously it did because we just did it. So we can move the arm around a bit more, the prosthetic arm.
Doc's been testing new materials for the prosthetics.
Do something a little raunchy here. Yeah, you know what that was.
We'll dig in now.
So now we get a look at the other little mini game that we're doing, which is discovering new substances. And this is another little. This one gets more annoying than the other one here, and you'll see why. So it's gonna give us 3 different bars, and we have to line up the black lines here with what we have here. Now, this one's pretty easy. We're gonna move this one, and then it's gonna be this one here. Put it there. But sometimes you have 2, 3 layers of that to match up all the lines. Now, lucky for us, there's never like 2 or I don't think there's ever 2 or 3 like different ones we have to do to complete the thing. But we just completed that, so that takes care of this whole little quest here, this little mini mission, story segment. So we had to go be Spider-Man. Let's quick load screen, and we're back in our costume. We might, like I said, we might actually switch up the costumes a bit here and there just to get you guys to see what different costumes you can do. You unlock them by collecting items throughout the world, and then the DLC ones you get for free, I believe.
He's in the raft.
Joining Scorpion, Electro, and the rest.
So we're just going to swing around the city for a moment. Now, usually after a story mission, if you at this point, more often than not, we're just going to swing around the city until the story progresses or sub-story will pop up, and we'll be able to do that. So right now, we're going to go check out. We're going to go hang out with Yuri real quick, see what she wants. So we're going to swing back to the police station. We want to avoid that. No trees.
Just the facts with J. Jonah Jameson.
Now, throughout the game, we're going to get phone calls from other characters and conversations or Jameson's podcast. And it's always going to be about, usually happens around after an actual story event or something happens in the story. And we're going to get to hear, Jameson rant. And it's really nice that the voice actor who does Jameson kind of does a similar voice role, like J.K. Simmons, who did the role in the Raimi Spider-Mans and actually had a cameo in the Far From Home. And I'm hoping he gets to stay in those movies because he's good at the role. And like I said, traversing the city, it may take time to get from point A to point B, but it's so much fun to do it. You don't want to fast travel because fast travel will be unlocked at some point in the game. It's not always the best. So we're going to want to just zip through the city as quick as possible because as you zip through the city, there'll be little mini things popping up, such as crimes that we have to take care of. You might come across a collectible. You might come across a side story. Anything you come across just by traversing the city. So we reached here. We're gonna cut off, cutting off Jameson here for the cutscene.
I need a break from their crap.
Fair enough. So, why'd you call? Need a date to the policeman's ball?
You got a black and white suit? No ball this year anyway. We spent too much integrating Oscorp surveillance tech.
Worth
I
it,
like that
though,
little
right?
reference there. In case you're wondering, black and white suit, that's a reference to the Venom suit, the symbiote suit that Spider-Man gets. Of course, I'm going to tell you this right now, there's no Venom in this game, as much as we wanted it, but maybe in the sequel.
Sabotaged the central server, and now all the towers are offline.
Inside job?
Maybe. We'll figure it out later. Right now, we need to get the towers back online. Fast.
And you called me? Aw, that's sweet.
I called.
So it sets up one of the little collectible things we can do,
We have no idea
is we're going to go around the city,
Ooh.
and we're going to try to get
Love
these
a
towers
challenge.
up and running.
You break it, you buy it.
I thought you trusted me.
And the city, I think, is cut up
Let's take
in the different districts, so they'll have like 2 to 3 of these towers. It's right in front of us here, so we'll see how you do it. All we have to do is match the bandages and the right trigger and left trigger. Well, sticks. My bad, sticks. We're going to use the sticks to line it up. And once it lines up here, you get experience points, and then it'll tell us of current collectibles within the area. You know, skippable cutscene. I don't think this one's skippable here.
Sure, but just so you know, I had to sync up with the tower to fix it. I'm seeing all crime data in the area now. Looks like there's a break-in happening near me.
Great. I've got units nearby.
Don't bother. I'm on it.
Do it.
So now we're going to get to do a little bit, see another thing. This is a little mini thing. There are crimes that'll happen throughout the city, and each section of the map you have to do about 5 crimes that happen in most of the things. Regular thug crimes, breaking and entering, like this. And all you do is really just punch and kick your way through it, and then, you know, we'll move on and get our tokens. Now we can't take this guy out normally. We're gonna have to do a launch. We're gonna have to launch him. He's got a heavy weapon, and like, the combat is so visceral, it's so fluid. I just can't stop it. I can't stop. You don't really want to avoid combat, but like you want to put together such fluid moves like that,
Okay.
like we just did, and then you see we get the token. So I think this looks like a good place for us to call it a day. We're going to take a break.
Your favorite
Thank you guys for tuning in to my Let's Play here for Marvel's Spider-Man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And when we return next time, we'll get to meet Spider-Cop.